Hey, what's up everybody, BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I threw some laundry in and I finally heard Obama speak, and he was giving us the word salad everybody else on his side of the fence is giving us. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is what I know. If those were white American children being slaughtered by people of color, we would see all types of solutions and rhetoric we're not seeing here. Period. Enough of the bullshit. Enough of the bullshit. Y'all don't care as much because those are kids of color getting their heads slaughtered by people who are white, who have a lot of power and money. That is what is happening here. I'm tired of playing with anybody and everybody about this nonsense when we're seeing 6,000 kids crossing over into the gates of heaven because of money and power and people who want to silence people who want to speak against it. They want to scare us away so we don't ever speak against anything else that they do. We're going to speak even more against the stuff that you do because we know the hypocrisy in which you act. They can't find no solutions to save these people. Can't do nothing to save them, but let this shit come to our doorstep. And they're going to have all kinds of solutions. They're going to be dropping bombs on people. They're going to be painting people out to be the worst thing in the world that they ever seen. All types of we are the world crap, bringing people solutions, money coming all over different ways. They selectively care about who they want to care about. This is selective humanity. And I'm tired of acting like I don't know what I'm looking at when it comes to that. Barack Obama, you're just a reflection of everything that's wrong with the partisan problem in this country. You guys are too caught up in what is right for y'all to speak on what is right for what's going on. But if this was your kids, you would have something else to say. If these were your children caught up in what's going on over there, this wouldn't be the conversation you're giving us. Well, it's kind of complicated. We got to look at the whole truth. The whole truth is 6,000 kids died at the hands of these assholes. That's what the truth is. And they're going to kill more too. Because y'all want to, well, let's figure out if we can make sure that everybody gets accounted for on both sides. The other side and surpass this side 10 times over. Whatever the hell happened to them, we don't even remember no more and shouldn't be thinking about it now that they targeting children in the way that they have. Children. I'm irritated, not necessarily with him because he's saying everything everybody else is saying. I don't expect nothing different from him because he's on that side of the fence. But at the end of the day, real people got to step up and say, I'm not waiting for it to come to my doorstep to be outraged like I'm supposed to be outraged if it were to. I'm not doing that. This is not a two-sided conversation. This is a one-sided conversation about children being murdered by madmen. That is it. This ain't nothing else. Whoever's supposed to be holding them accountable is not effective. Whoever's supposed to be holding them, for their war crimes, accountable for war crimes specifically, is not active. Otherwise, they would have been deterred from doing this. And that's the bottom line. If there's no one to supervise the world, you are showing us that, and you're going to see more and more people doing crazier and crazier stuff because it's evident you can get away with it. Like I told y'all in my last video, do not think a hunger like this goes away. Once people see you can do this, nations see they can do this, they start dreaming of being able to do this to their enemies. Start being able to do this to clear out areas. And they're going to bring it to this country. They're going to bring it to that country. They're going to bring it to that country. You think this is the end of genocide? This ain't even the beginning of it. We've already heard of this. Just now we're seeing it. But when people see it, it's supposed to be something different. It ain't supposed to go down the same way because we are witnessing it in our phone. Everybody's doing what they know how to do within the confines of what is legal. But I'm telling you, the people who are doing this are nestled in between not being held accountable for doing anything illegal and just pure and utter hatred. That accountability is what's supposed to keep madmen from doing mad things. It's this fear of being held accountable that's supposed to keep children alive in this world. And these people who want to have something to say about it are telling me, well, you got to consider this side and consider that side. You ain't considering no side when this 6,000 kids threshold is passed over to into the heavens gates. 6,000? While we all watching? And that's the best you got? I want to hear that shit. Because if it were my kids and if somebody else's kids next to me, we'd be trying to do everything we can to break every law we can to get to the people who did this. And if it was your kids, some of y'all, partisan people, if these was your kids getting slaughtered out there, then we see y'all be doing all kind of stupid shit trying to make it happen. But since this is they kids over there, they ain't got no money, they kind of brown, they over there, they playing the Muslim, y'all don't give a shit that much. It's like, well, let me see if it makes sense. But when it starts hitting your doorstep, when you let that evil come bleeding into your circumstance, which it is undoubtedly going to do now, you understand where you went wrong in allowing this type of thing to take place in the first place. While y'all were considering, well, is it good with my party? Let me make sure if the people I'm in contractual agreements with are okay with this, because obviously they're the ones who killing these kids. We want to make sure they're okay. You want to make sure the crime starters are okay. You want to make sure the baby killers are cool. I'm telling you, you're letting them influence new demons. And that is all that you're doing by letting them get away with this while trying to check to see if it makes sense in your balance book. Make sure if the laws... These laws are being broken. Humanitarian crimes are being broken, and the demonstration to all different types of minds of all different types of intelligence levels is that you can do this so long as you have the right backing. You can slaughter thousands, millions, so long as you have the right friends in the right places. You can commit genocide in the presence of everybody. That is the precedent that you guys are setting in this time. Irresponsibly setting in these times, for which will fade and new people will come in with new power and new levels of wealth to impose their craziness upon all of us, because y'all didn't do nothing to stop these madmen of this day from doing this when everybody was watching. See, that's the key to all of it. Yeah, we know genocide been going on Congo and all this and that. We know that's horrible. They even killed 4, 5, 10 times more people than this, but not while people were watching. Once people are watching, it has to be a different conversation. And none of y'all cowards have anything to say about it because you're too busy worried about your political stuff and too safe in your households to do anything about it. But it's coming to your households, unfortunately, because of it. Maybe not yours, but your grandkids, your great-grandkids, they're going to see a genocide because of the bullshit that y'all was focused on instead of stopping it in these times forevermore. Y'all should have been like, nah. Y'all should have seen that coming. Like, look, we let this happen, it's going to happen to us. But you don't see it coming. Unfortunately, only a few of us see it coming. I happen to be one of them. You think your army going to be as strong as it's always going to be. But I'm telling you, the world around you is changing. And people are dreaming about doing this to your kids, my kids, because we stand behind the flag that allowed this shit to happen to them. Stupid mother. I'm telling you, stupidity is going to cost a lot of us lives, man. It ain't just money on the line. It ain't just your power on the line. It ain't just your agreements with these people so that you can get your pipeline and fucking bullshit on the line. Because they already showed you that they were discard of human lives like they're the discard of a roach. And if you think they think that you are any different just because you got your power, you are crazy as they are. They will bring it to you. And that's not me pushing fear. That's common damn sense. At some point in time, we got to look up and say, yo, we're not doing enough. We're not doing enough to deter those who are trying to psychologically deter us from doing enough. There has to be some resistance to that. Not political checking to see who's okay with this. I mean, look and see if the contract says I can't do none. That contract is shit when people like that are killing kids. That contract is void. You're supposed to break all ties with them because they doing this. But because you don't think it can come to you, because you don't have a heart for nobody else but yourself, you're going to have to suffer the consequences of not. And I'm telling y'all, a lot of y'all want to use God as a reason to do this or not do that. Man, it ain't got a whole lot to do with anything other than the fact that you let that precedent be set. You let that precedent be set. You told a whole generation that they could do this and get away with it. And they paying attention. So y'all can keep on letting Israel be the tyrants of the day. Y'all can let them be the bad guys of the day. But I promise you, the only reason that stops a lot of people from doing stuff like that is because they don't want to be shamed for it. If no one's here to shame them for it, you get more of this. So that's what I got to say to these irresponsible politicians who don't see the forest for the trees, who are not responsible enough to care for anybody, let alone the children that are dying over there in Gaza. They ain't responsible for nothing but their own backsides, and they're going to be remembered for it. Low frequency entities that don't know a goddamn thing about saving lives, obviously. This should have never been possible. This should have never been possible. Y'all know this man, Netanyahu, and all of his minions are crazy. You know that. At this point, it is obvious that they are not well. Forget what's in the books. Forget what's in the contracts. They crazy, fam. These are madmen doing mad things. And we're sitting here acting like, well, you know, let's make sure. They got control of our money. Celebrities sitting back here saying, well, they could take my careers. They gonna kill your kids. Your damn career. They gonna kill your grandkids, fam. And if it ain't gonna be them, it's gonna be somebody who's watching them, learning from them. While y'all sitting up here afraid of what you can lose, you're gonna lose it all. And you're gonna suffer the pains that those people are suffering. It's a difference between losing what you have and holding your child in the street as they are lifeless. Unprecedented pain that you don't know, that I don't know, that we are letting happen to these people. Because we want to check and see if it's legal to do so, while they're breaking the law in the process of it. Childishness. The whole globe, childish. Lost the idea of what it means to fear stuff like this. So you'll let a people go through this while everybody's watching. And when it comes to your doorstep, you remember I told y'all this. When you see unprecedented war in your lands and horrible things happen to your people, and you feel that pain hit your ass, you remember what it is I told you in this camera. Because you let them people go through that. BDF 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.